Hi there, friends. How are you? It is Tuesday. We haven't done this in a while, have we? It is shortly after 1 o'clock out west, shortly after 4 o'clock out east. And no matter where you're watching from, I am so happy that you are a part of today's trivia. And if you're watching this on a little bit of a tape delay, no worries. Good to have you here as well. Don't worry if you miss anything, you can always email me. You know that, sailwithseth@gmail.com. Sailwithseth@gmail.com. And I will have that flowing here at the bottom of your screen. We are joined by a special guest, and I want to introduce you to that guest right now, who, by the way, is going to be playing Tuesday Trivia with us and is going to have a lot more about our Antarctic adventure that we have coming up in January. It is an amazing Sail with Seth that is, I will tell you, once in a lifetime type of trip. And I want to bring in Nikki. Nikki is with Atlas Ocean Voyages. She's got her trivia hat on today. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Seth. It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me. There's no pressure that I should know the trivia question answers, right?
That's right. Exactly. I think, you know what? Here's the deal. I always say this. If you don't know the answer, I will give you that answer and you will learn something. So it's a learning, something that we used to do here during lockdown for a while. And now we're still continuing this trend. And I want to point out my shirt. I don't know if you've seen, I want to get closer. Do you see my shirt?
I don't, what? Oh, is it some little sea mammal?
It's a penguins.
Oh, it's penguins. I'm so sorry.
You see? No, it's okay. Look at that. It's penguins. And some have red bow ties. Do you see? There's a little.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love it.
Yes. So this is I was like, this is my Antarctic shirt that we have to wear. Normally I wear a Sail with Seth logo gear, but today, no, it's penguins. We're dedicating it all to penguins. Nikki, how are you, by the way? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Like you said, I'm here on the West Coast, so hi to everyone else across all those time zones. I've already screwed myself up today with time zones, but hey, life goes on, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So it's great to see so many people out there. Thank you so much for being here. Ruth and Kathy and Heidi and Andrea and Prisby and Marion, Annette, Lori, Sue, Mark, Gail. I mean, so many of you. Always appreciate you being here. And I don't want you to spoil it just yet, Nikki, but I hear that you've got some giveaways.
Possibly. I'm feeling generous this afternoon. Yes, absolutely.
I love when Nikki can go into her little treasure trove of a closet there and kind of pull out some really good stuff. And we've got some fun prizes for you. Again, we'll show you all of those prizes coming up towards the end of this presentation. But let's talk about trivia. Let's get to our trivia. Are you ready, Nikki?
I'm absolutely ready.
All right, ready. Friends, here we go. So we're going to do trivia a little differently today. The question's going to come up on your screen. It is all true and false. All true and false, okay? So there's 10 questions, all true and false. We'll go over the answers at the end. So again, if you cannot post the answer in the comment, please don't. And we will go over everything here at the end of trivia. And of course, talk much more about a once in a lifetime Antarctic opportunity that you cannot miss. I mean, Nikki is blowing out all the stops, and I thank her and her team. And truly, I mean, this is going to be an adventure of a lifetime. And we're going to hear from Nikki, who also went to Antarctica recently, and we'll show you some pictures. But first, trivia. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Again, true or false? Question number 1. Antarctica has no official time zone. Is that true or is that false? Take a guess. Take a guess at that. And again, please do not post the answer. Please don't post the answer. We will go over everything here afterwards. So don't post the answer. Put it right directly in front of you. And we will go over everything here after we are done with trivia. So that's question number 1. Antarctic trivia. Question number 1. Antarctica has no official time zone. All right. Got that one? Here we go. Question number 2. On average, Antarctica is the windiest of all the continents. Is this true or is this false? On average, Antarctica is the windiest of all the continents. True or false? And again, please don't put the answers down. Go ahead and just put it down in front of you, and we will go over all the answers here in just a matter of time. All right, we're going to move on to question number 3. Antarctica is officially a desert. Or I like to say dessert, but it's not spelled dessert. It's desert. Antarctica is officially a desert. How do you feel like you're doing so far, Nikki?
I feel like I'm doing pretty good, but like you said, I was there in March, so I listened to the expedition team. So I think I'm doing pretty good at the moment.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's great. All right, here we go. Question number 4, my friends. Sled dogs are common transportation in Antarctica. Sled dogs are common transportation in Antarctica. Take a guess at that one. And again, don't post your answers, but thank you so much to everyone who being here today. I am so happy, and I can't wait to talk much more about this Antarctic adventure that we have coming up in January, because I'll tell you right now, it's going to be like nothing you have ever experienced before, and I can't wait to get the details on this from Nikki and all the fun things we get thrown into the mix for being Sail with Seth. All right, question number 5. Antarctica is the size of the United States and Mexico combined. Now, again, you have to remember the U.S., pretty large country. Mexico, pretty large country. So the United States and Mexico, put them together and you get the size of Antarctica. True or false? True or false? And that is question number 5. All right, here we go. Question number 6. Antarctica contains 70% of the world's fresh water. Antarctica contains 70% of the world's fresh water. What do you think about that? Take a guess at this. Can't wait to see how everyone's doing. By the way, Wayne, who's going to be with us on our trip, Nikki, says he has been studying all about Antarctica.
I see
and Andrea also going with us saying, I reviewed Antarctic trivia. I love it. That is so great. And Wayne saying he can't wait for Antarctica. And I am very, very fortunate. And Nikki, you're probably the same way, that we have seen a lot of the world in the industry that we're in. But there's something about when you say Antarctic to somebody, it's chef's kiss, you know, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, we're going to get back. I don't want to digress. Here we go. All right, so we're going to go back to question number 6. Antarctica contains 70% of the world's fresh water. Number 7, Antarctica is the largest ice sheet in the world. Antarctica is the largest ice sheet in the world. Take a guess at this. Carol also going on our trip, saying she's so looking forward to this trip. It's going to be her second time going to Antarctica. So that is going to be fantastic. And Carol, I think we still might be doing the polar plunge maybe together.
Oh,
maybe.
You have to do it.
Okay. More on that here in just a second. All right. We're going to go on to, so again, from question number 7, which is Antarctica is the largest ice sheet in the world, to question 8, there's only 10 trees on the entire continent. There's only 10 trees on the entire continent of Antarctica. We have a comment from Carol, and she has voted no.
For the ice plunge? Oh, Carol, you get a nice certificate, and before you've jumped in, you're jumping back out again, and not to spoil anything. But I will say there's a little special surprise from the medics that's standing by, just in case. It's quite an interesting little surprise, actually.
I love how we pointed out where it's like, and medics standing by, which is so true. Okay, she voted again.
Yes.
All right. We're going to get, hi, Joyce. How are you? All right. So let's take a look at our next question. This is question 9. The Antarctic polar bear is only located near the South Pole. Antarctic polar bears are only located near the South Pole. And we'll move on to question number 10, which is our last question. You can experience the midnight sun in Antarctica. You can experience the midnight sun in Antarctica. Is that true or is that false? Take a guess at that. And Wayne is commenting saying he's doing the polar plunge and his fiance doing the polar plunge.
Perfect.
So I love it. I love it. All right, friends, before we get to the answers, I want you to see a quick little video from Atlas Ocean Voyages talking all about Antarctica and the adventure that we have as Sail with Seth coming up in early January. So answers in just a moment for trivia, but first, a quick little message from Atlas Ocean Voyages and Sail with Seth.
When I was young, for me, speaking of Antarctica was like speaking of Mars or the moon. Being here right now is really powerful.
This has literally been a life-changing trip. It's really an opportunity of a lifetime.
It's just mind-blowing. I just feel so fortunate to be here.
It gets you goosebumps. It's the experience of a lifetime.
You just had like a rush of adrenaline and energy in your body.
This for me is the peak.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than this. Not sure how we top this next year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Christina.
And we are Atlas World Travelers.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Tim. And we're Atlas World Travelers.
We are Atlas World Travelers.
Go on.
And we are Atlas World Travelers.
I'm Rick.
I'm Alice. And we are Atlas World Travelers.
We are Atlas World Travelers. Come on!
So before we get to the answers here real fast, we saw a variety of people in the video, Nikki. Is this for everybody of all abilities?
Absolutely, of all abilities. You know, our expedition team, one of the things that you're going to be very aware of is the high level of safety that we all undergo when we make these landings in Antarctica. And our expedition team is going to teach you the sailor's grip so that you know how to comfortably get down the few steps that you need to get to where we load the Zodiacs. They're going to teach you how to get onto the Zodiac and be safe and just have a wonderful and amazing time. As Seth there said, I was there in March, last sailing of the season. I have a couple of pictures that I took there, and it is truly a life-changing experience. It's truly breathtaking. That is me actually very early in the morning. We are in the Le Maire Channel. The Le Maire Channel typically looks like a sheet of glass. It is one of the most scenic spots that you're probably going to see. It had snowed the night before, so there was a little bit of fresh snow everywhere. At the narrowest point, 1,600 meters, my husband and I getting ready to go back towards the ship after a morning out exploring. There's those famous green parkas that you're all going to get once you're on board, and you get to take that home. That's one of our souvenirs.
And look what's behind you. Look what's behind you.
Absolutely. I mean, the scenery is breathtaking. For the first day, your head is on a swivel. You really don't know where to look. Obviously, you're looking for penguins, but just the vastness and the sky and the quietness, it is, you are very aware that you are in a very remote place in the world. One of my fellow Zodiac travelers, actually a fellow Brit. What's sitting behind us is called Edinburgh Rock. It's one of those basalt rock formations that's been weathered for many, many, many years. And it's actually, let me think where that is, out near the South Shetland Islands. So here I am bundled up on on the Zodiac.
I love that. Going back to this one picture, and then we're going to get to the answers here in trivia in just a moment. Obviously, you're wearing your hat. You're wearing a heavier coat. Is this, I mean, we're talking Antarctica. We're talking the height of summer for Antarctica when we go in January. It's not as cold as everyone imagines it. Is that correct? I mean, I know you're bundled up here. However,
You know what? The reason I'm wearing that jacket, Seth, that's my own personal jacket. The reason being is we like everyone to keep those green heavy parkas and their boots down in our mud room. So that's I'm wearing a jacket. I maybe have on a sweatshirt underneath. It was not as cold as I thought it would be. And to be truthful, that green jacket that we give you, those polar jackets, actually has a zip in, zip out vest. Padded vest, and after the first day, I don't think I ever had that padded vest on again. However, you know your body tolerance, you know when you feel cold compared to other people, and perhaps what's cold for you is not cold for me. So we suggest layers, a good hat, some gloves. You're obviously going to be wearing the jacket that we provide. We provide the boots too as well. And then you would just want a good base layer. I think that is the key to staying warm, is a good base layer.
Absolutely. And one of the articles that I had read, Nikki, earlier was the fact that if you are used to like a Chicago, a Michigan, a Northeast winter, you might live in Alaska in the wintertime, it's not even as cold as it is in some of those places in our winter.
Correct.
You know, in the times that you're visiting. Obviously, it's frigid in their winter time.
Yes.
But in their summer, which is our winter, it's colder sometimes in, say, a Boston or a Michigan or a Chicago than it would be in Antarctica at that time. So that's kind of a nice way to look at it.
Yeah. And like I said, come prepared, come with your layers. Maybe bring a jacket. Certainly when you're probably in Buenos Aires, it's again very warm at that time of year. But once we get to Ushuaia, you will notice, oh, I might need a light jacket on right now. But other than that, bring your layers.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so we're going to talk much more about the trip, and I know Nikki's got some fun up her sleeve here with some giveaways, but let's talk about the answers, and then I want to answer your questions about our trip to Antarctica. All right, so first of all, we've got the first question. Antarctica has no official time zone. What do you think, Nikki?
True.
True. Does not have any official time zone, so I believe we stay on ship time. Isn't that correct, Nikki?
We do stay. Yes, we will stay on ship time. Yes.
Perfect. So that is great because, you know, sometimes when you travel, as you know, and been in the industry, and for so many of you that have cruised before, you know exactly where it's like, okay, tomorrow we lose an hour of sleep. The next day we gain an hour, the next day. But we are constantly on Argentinian time. So that's always nice that we're not losing sleep or we're not gaining sleep. And really, the travel down to South America, I've done it before. It's not bad. It doesn't seem like it takes a lot out of you, say like a Europe or an Asia. You're just going down south and you kind of, you know, maybe lose an hour or two. Not much. All right. So question number 2, on average, Antarctica, the windiest of all the continents. It is
true.
True. Look at you. You are on and I want to well, no, I'm going to say that. I don't want to jinx anything. All right. Question number 3, Antarctica officially a desert. What do you say?
Yes.
True. It is officially a desert. Antarctica is officially a desert. And you'll learn much more about that as we continue on our trek in Antarctica. Number 7, sled dogs are common transportation in Antarctica. What do you say?
False.
That is false. 100% false. By the way, a little editorial here. In 1994, all dogs were banned from Antarctica. And the reason why was because they could spread disease. And if they broke free, they would attack some seals. And that would then disturb the wildlife. So sled dogs and all dogs are banned from Antarctica. So that is false. That is false. All right. Question number 5. Antarctica is the size of the United States and Mexico combined. What say you, Nikki?
True.
True. True. Now, also, I want to point this out. Nikki had no idea of these questions. So I want to point this out. So you're doing very, very well. Question number 6. Antarctica contains 70% of the world's fresh water.
I would say that's probably true.
Okay.
But I don't know. Oh, yep.
True. Antarctica does contain 70% of the world's fresh water. All right, we're going to move on now to question Number 7, Antarctica, the largest ice sheet in the world.
True.
That is true. Absolutely 1000% true. More than 98% of Antarctica, by the way, covered with ice. It makes it the largest ice sheet in the world. Do you know where the second largest ice sheet in the world is, Nikki?
Alaska.
Nope.
Oh. Let me think. Arctic
Greenland.
or Greenland? Oh, interesting.
And I know where an Atlas goes to Greenland too.
And the Arctic.
And the Arctic. Look at us. Look at us. All right. Question number 8. There's only 10 trees on the entire continent of Antarctica.
I know there's trees on the continent of Antarctica, but I don't know that anyone's counted them, so I might have to go false with that.
False. They say, and you could bust this myth right now, but in the few places that I have found, they said there is not a single tree in Antarctica. Is that true?
I don't know about. I actually think there are some trees in Antarctica. I think we might have to research that one.
Debunk this. Okay.
Yes.
Did you see any trees?
I did not, but I wasn't in some of the areas where I think there might
be
been
trees. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We
Yes.
will Google. You know what? Let's give it a quick little Goog right now.
Oh, yes.
Are
Let's see what it
there
says.
trees in Antarctica?
What does it say?
There are no trees
Oh,
or
there are?
shrubs.
Oh,
There
okay.
are no trees. I mean, Uncle Google's never wrong. So
okay.
that's what it says.
Interesting.
You know what? I'll let you know if I see a tree in January. I'll report back. I will report back. All right. So so that was that question. Question number 9, Antarctic polar bears are only located near the South Pole. And you say
False.
false because?
They're in the Arctic.
That's right. There are no polar bears, my friends. There are no polar bears in the Antarctic.
Correct.
Only in the Arctic. Only
Yes.
in the Arctic. Question number 10, you can experience the midnight sun in Antarctica. And you know, by the way, that you always hear the midnight sun, land of the midnight sun, Alaska, so on and so forth. But the question is, you can experience the midnight sun in Antarctica. And what do you say?
I say false. Oh.
It's true. It is true. You could see the sun at midnight, or at least over the horizon in Antarctica. Maybe not exactly where you might have been or where others might have been, but yes, you can experience the midnight sun in Antarctica. Kind of a bonus thing here, by the way. You know how we have the northern lights?
Yes.
They have the southern lights. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. So now when we are in Antarctica and when Atlas is there, obviously it is not at the time where you can see those lights. But in the wintertime and the summertime for us, in the wintertime in Antarctica, you have the southern lights. So a little bit on the different side, but those are there.
Interesting.
Not many people get to experience that because of the lack. There's no tourism there other than, ships that continue to come through.
Yeah.
All right. So let me know how you did. Tell me how you did, everyone. You did fantastic, by the way. Kimberly's here. Kimberly, who I love. Kimberly is a cruise and travel director on Holland America. So thank you, Kimberly. So good to see you. Wayne got 10 out of 10.
Wayne.
He was doing it right. Carol got them all right.
Oh.
She's going. Paul, 8 out of 10. Linda, 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Sue and Mark, 10 out of 10. Ruth, 8 out of 10. Annie, 10 out of 10. MJ got them all correct. Look at this.
They came prepared, Seth.
7 out of 10. Didn't even have to fib. Marion, 7 out of 10. She feels good. Jackie, 9. Jackie's still on the fence if she should be coming to Antarctica. So maybe we can change
you
her
should, Jackie. Yeah.
Martha, we need to get Martha in Antarctica. And Kathy, too. Kathy, 8 out of 10.
Wow.
I know.
impressed.
Isn't this amazing? I know. I
impressed.
absolutely love it. So thank you and congrats to all of you. And we are going to have some fun prizes here at the end of this presentation. But let's talk about some of those pictures that you sent me.
Yep.
This is one of them. Let's talk about this and this pristine shot that, and I want to bust your bubble here, but you took from your cell phone?
Yes, that is the last day we were, before we left to cross back the Drake Passage. So I was standing at the front of the ship. This is about 2:00 in the afternoon. And that is taken from my cell phone with absolutely no changes to that picture whatsoever. So the calmness of the water, the brilliance of the white and the sky, just absolutely amazing.
That is absolutely incredible. And this I love because you see the vessel there, which I think is just fantastic.
So when we make a landing, we always offer two options. So the option that I took on this particular day was to go on a hike, about just over a mile, and it was on a gradual incline. And I just stopped because it was snowing. So it was clearly very atmospheric that we were getting snow, because that's one of the reasons why Antarctica is a desert, as measured by the lack of snow and rainfall. And that is the World Navigator that you saw in that earlier video. And again, taken from my cell phone. And even though the sun is not shining, you can get a feel for how absolutely stunning this Antarctica is.
That's amazing. So incredible. And this, I mean, stop it with this.
This is my favorite picture. I was heading back to get the Zodiac to take me back to the Navigator. It was late morning, and I just happened to stop, and I saw these penguins, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it's like someone purposely told them to strike a pose. You almost make sure that you're doing something different. And it was just, it's one of my favorite shots. And I particularly love the guy that's, closest to us on my right, that looks a little bit, heavy set there, that he's definitely buffing up for the winter. But penguins are everywhere. They don't understand that we as human beings should keep 15 feet away from them. They are very curious. They're going to head towards you. So you do have to be a little careful, give them their space. When I was there, they were going through what you call a catastrophic molt. So they were losing all those downy feathers that they have as babies, and they were all shedding. And it was the funniest thing, because some of them looked like they had mohawks, some of them looked like they were still wearing scarves, because obviously their feathers don't just drop out everywhere. So yes, you'll get some wonderful shots of the wildlife, and most definitely the penguins.
And you know what's so cool is the time that we're there compared to when you were there in March. We're going to be going in early January, and that is a huge whale migration season. So we're going to be seeing a lot of whales, hopefully, but also the penguin chicks are hatching.
Yes. It's a little bit of seasonality of what we see those penguins go through, everything from courtship to birth to learning to really grow up extremely quickly in the 5 months that they have for the summer, because they are left to their fender for themselves once those long dark winter months set in. So you get a full sort of life as a penguin, very fast 5 months, and you are there during the birthing season. So you should get some wonderful baby chicks hanging out. And if you can see behind me in my background picture, my love to hate the leopard seal. Because
why do you say that?
Well, I'm a big, obviously, Darwin's theory of evolution. The reason the leopard seal, very crafty, very good hunter, but he does like penguins for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, it's a little bit of dog eat dog in Antarctica, but you will see those leopard seals out. You will see themselves sunning themselves after they've found a penguin snack. But yes, they're the apex predator down there.
Oh, fantastic. All of it is just absolutely. I just want to stay. That picture behind you is just absolutely incredible. All right. So I know that you have a treat for our guests.
We do. Seth has got a wonderful trip planned for you, sailing on what will be our newest vessel coming into the fleet, the World Voyager. He's generously and craftily twisted some arms here, and although we already sail all inclusive, he's going to give you an extra $200 per person on board credit. For those of you who might be thinking about maybe camping when you're in Antarctica, or kayaking, or paddleboarding, if you wanted to put that towards one of those excursions, you certainly could. If you might like to enjoy yourself with a massage in the spa, again, something that you could use this shipboard credit to just give yourself a a nice relaxing massage as we sail through Antarctica.
So it's funny that you say that, because, you know, Twisting Arms and you and the team at Atlas have been amazing working with me and you know, giving us the best possible pricing, and for single supplements as well. You guys have really stepped up to bat and given us amazing rate on solo occupancy and suite guests as well. I mean, truly, it is amazing. And thank you to your team in getting us that extra $200 onboard credit. And folks, if you have already booked this cruise, Nikki says you get it too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yes. So it is something that we want to share with you, because yes, it is all inclusive, and yes, you are going to get a lot, but an extra $200 a person, that doesn't hurt. And especially if you want the massage or if you want something like that, that is really going to be key. Real quick, before I get to more details about what Atlas offers, let's talk about the Drake, because that's, I think, the elephant in the room. I've had people who have booked this trip and then canceled this trip because they have watched YouTube videos about the Drake Passage. Now, when you are talking about a YouTube video of the Drake, you're not going to watch this. You're going to watch this. And that just seems what is all out there. Let's talk about debunking all of this. I know it's going to be different. I know, as a meteorologist and a trained meteorologist, you can't really forecast, you know, what it's going to be like in the sea conditions. Tell us a little bit about the Drake and how you have talked to other guests about your experience, and maybe others that didn't quite have the same experience that you did.
So I was very fortunate. I was late in the season. I was the last sailing of the season. I actually experienced what we would call the Drake Lake, meaning it was extremely, for the most part, very smooth. Although, again, everyone's tolerance and that feeling of seasickness is sort of a personal experience. A lot of people came on with the prescription patches that your doctor can write a prescription for. A lot of people were taking seasickness pills. Now, look, the crew and our expedition team are extremely used to dealing with people that might be experiencing the motion as we come across the Drake, because it can be, well, we call it three things. We call it Drake Lake, Drake Shake, or Drake Quake. If it's Drake Quake, then we probably are going to figure out either how to get ahead of it or wait for it to, some of the sea conditions to come back down. We do have a doctor on board. A great trivia question. I always ask this question to people: who can't we leave without? And lots of people think we can't leave without the captain. It's not. It's the doctor. None of us as a cruise operators can leave without a doctor on board. So we do have a medic on board. We do have a doctor. We take as many precautions as we can to keep you safe. And like I said, the crew and our expedition team are there to sort of get you through it the best way that's going to work for you. So if you're nervous about coming across the Drake, I would encourage you to possibly think about getting that prescription patch or bringing on some seasickness, anti-nausea pills with you. What I will say is, if you've had a slightly rough crossing, by the time you wake up on that third day and you see Antarctica in front of you, you'll probably forget what might have happened during those 48 hours that it roughly takes us to sail across the Drake. Yeah. But most people, I think, call it a rite of passage. There's many people who, not only is Antarctica that seventh continent for them, that last continent, but a lot of people want to challenge themselves to actually cross the Drake. Like I say, I was fortunate. So my experience was very good.
All right. Well, send that good juju over to us.
Yes.
And I love that. But I do love the fact that you talk about how there is a physician on board. And I love the fact that you talk about how, you know, the recommendations that you go to your doctor, you kind of ask. And then also, if you're not into prescriptions, you're into more natural homeopathic, ginger, and different ways that you can Google and go on and on and on. But as we get closer to the date, we are going to have a Zoom chat. And Nikki, I hope you join us on that with everyone who's sailing, and then we can kind of dig a little bit deeper on some of the remedies that has helped everyone else on this. Jackie asks a really good question here. Jackie asks, how many passengers does this ship hold?
So when we sail in Antarctica, we never go with more than 174 people, and we sail with a full expedition team. So approximately 14 people on the expedition team, sort of experienced in different areas. So there's an ornithologist on board. There's typically a historian. We have people more that are dedicated to go out with you if you're doing the kayaking or if you're doing the paddle boarding. If you choose to camp, yes, we'll have people out with you from the expedition team all night. So no more than 174 people. I sailed with 168 people. The expedition team got everyone out twice a day, and they made it look easy.
That's incredible. I mean, when you think about that kind of ship, I mean, it's small, but yet has all the elegance of a big vessel, right? You have the different places, the lounges and the dining room and all of the things that you're used to in seeing on a bigger ship, but yet it's all inclusive. And we'll talk more about that here in a bit. But I want to ask you this before we get to all the details. If several guests are watching and they have been to Antarctica, but say not touching on Antarctica, they have gone on a Holland America, a Princess, a larger cruise line that doesn't have the permits to actually land in Antarctica. And those guests have said, I don't need to go back. I've already been. I see it. What's the difference between what they experience, which is still amazing, compared to actually touching land in Antarctica?
So as you mentioned, Seth, all of us that have the permission to actually land and make those landings in Antarctica, we're very regulated about that. So the rule of thumb is that if you sail on a vessel that has more than 500 passengers, you cannot make any landings. Anyone that sails with anything between 1 and 500, we are allowed to make a landing with no more than 100 people at a time. So that's the reason we choose to sail with 174 passengers. If conditions are perfect, meaning safety, weather, water, etc., the captain, the expedition team leader feels 100% certain that we're safe to land. I cannot explain to you what it's like to get on that Zodiac that first day and just be in this vast land surrounded by, as you saw in that video, we didn't call those animals up. That person was on with us the whole week, experiencing the whales, the seals, to be up close with those penguins in their natural habitat. It's a memory that will never leave you. And like I said, we successfully got everyone off twice a day for 4 straight days running. And after the first day, you're a little like, okay, I got to get my jacket on. Then I need to get my life vest on. Where's my boots? Did I bring my gloves? You're a little slow. By day 2, day 3, you're like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. Let me get going. So,
let's do this.
Exactly. And we take you off in about groups of 10, maybe 11 people on the Zodiacs. You can spend as much time as you want on the ice shelf. People are coming and going on the Zodiacs. And perhaps if you've got someone who's maybe a little bit more cautious about stepping onto some of the surfaces where we land, do know that the expedition team will help you comfortably leave the Zodiac, get on the rocks if they're a little slippery, and get to more on solid ground. The other thing is, if you're not comfortable maybe with where we're landing one day and you don't feel that you want to get off of the Zodiac, just let one of the crew know before you leave the vessel, and they always have one of the Zodiacs dedicated to just doing some sightseeing, cruising around the area that we're in. They're constantly, talking to each other. We've just seen a whale here, or we know there's a leopard seal there. So you'll still get a great experience, but you'll be in the Zodiac. So you're going to hear the whale when it blows. You're going to hear the water. You'll hear that splash when the penguins are coming in and out. So for me, I'm a big believer that there's a cruise line for everyone. But I think that Antarctica, stepping foot on that landmass, it is life-changing. If someone said to me, Nikki, do you want to go back to Antarctica? I'd say yes. Again, take me again, knowing that the Drake Passage could be different, but I'm going to see a different side of Antarctica. I'm probably going to see some different wildlife than I saw the last time. I would go numerous times.
You know, I love the fact that you talked about just, sitting on the Zodiac. If you don't actually want to step foot, or accessibility issues might prevent you from stepping foot, if you step on that Zodiac and you circle around and that's what you're doing with your activity level, how fantastic is that? That you can actually still get some amazing pictures, still see wildlife coming really, really close to you. And that's a great point. I'm glad that you made that point, because that is something I feel that a lot of people might hesitate on, of actually not being able to walk. So I shouldn't go, but that shouldn't stop anyone.
No, it should not.
Right, absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit about what is included here. So we're looking at January 3rd to the 14th of 2024. Atlas is giving us a one night in a Buenos Aires hotel. And so that we're all going to stay. So when you leave North America on the 3rd, you get in on the 4th. And the reason you do that is because most of the flights that go to South America leave late in the evening. So one night in Buenos Aires, we get our charter flight. So it's just us and the rest of our guests to Ushuaia. We are in the Drake Passage. We go to Antarctica, 5 days of landings and explorations, again, sometimes twice a day. We're a return voyage. And this is something that I think is amazing and that I haven't seen another line, and correct me if I'm wrong, you get another tour of Tierra del Fuego. And I've been there. It is unbelievable. It's kind of the gateway to Patagonia. You get that included before we all go back to Buenos Aires.
We do. So that's something new for this season. So when you come back into Ushuaia, we are going to, it's a short distance to take us into the Tierra del Fuego National Park. And you'll get probably about 4 hours there to explore. We will have a motor coach with us too. So there'll be some great sightseeing spots. And as Seth said, really just get a little bit of an idea of what it's like to be in Patagonia too. So you get you get Antarctica and you get to experience Patagonia too.
It's crazy. All right. So let's talk about that. And let's talk about what else is included, Nikki, in our Antarctic adventure through Atlas.
So as I mentioned, we just talked about the cultural immersion into the Tierra del Fuego National Park. I mentioned that we sail all inclusive. So yes, obviously all of your food is included. We do include all of the alcohol too as well. That includes 24-hour room service. So if you're in your PJs and you're watching a movie in bed and you suddenly think to yourself, well, maybe I'd like a hot chocolate or a coffee and a glass of brandy to go with it, we will absolutely bring that to you in your room. We do have a room service menu too as well. If you're actually in one of our suites, then you get full butler service, and the butler can bring you anything that you'd like from the restaurant. We have our own version of sort of a coffee shop. We call it Paula's Pantry. So if you're an early riser, you like a cappuccino, a frappe, they are open from about 6 in the morning to about 6 in the evening. If you're a light eater at lunchtime and you don't want to come to the dining room, you'll always find sandwiches there and cookies and yogurt. If you come back after an afternoon expedition and you're a little bit hungry, again, you're going to find sandwiches, fruit, shakes, juices, all at the coffee shop. One of the bars is always open, and just something to keep in mind here. If you tried to order a drink at, say, breakfast, and by a drink I mean, say, a mimosa or a Bloody Mary, and we're going out on an expedition, the crew member is going to say to you, are you planning to go out today on an expedition? And if you say yes, they will not serve you alcohol. So just do keep that in mind. When we're sailing across the Drake, hey, you can have alcohol as much as you want, but they will not serve it to you if you plan to go out with the expedition team.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, we do our version of afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is up in the dome, and the dome for me is a really great space to be. It has 270-degree views around the vessel. There's a bar up there. The piano player is up there too. We do afternoon tea. Champagne, when you come on board with us, clearly, when we've only got maximum 174 people on board, it's very easy for us to give that personalized service. So we do greet you with champagne and little canapes as we get ready for sailing away. I mentioned 24-hour room service. So L'Occitane, if you're familiar with L'Occitane, you may have seen that wonderful store in the mall. They run our spa but they also have their bath amenities in all the staterooms and suites. Gratuities are always included. Walking sticks, the knee boots, binoculars, all there for you as well. I mentioned the landings. You're going to get a lot of lectures too as well. Now, for me, I'll be really honest. Being in the theater when the first day we crossed, where it was a little bit nautical, I'll use the word nautical, I did not feel good in the theater. So if there is a lecture going on, you can actually sit outside of the theater in the lounge, be a little bit more of an open space. You can see outside. So if you start to feel nauseous at any time when you're in the theater, two things to remember. We're playing the same thing in the lounge, and we're also playing the same thing via the TV in your stateroom or your suites. I mentioned this expedition team out with you on the Zodiacs. The polar plunge. Okay. They're going to let you all know when we plan to do the polar plunge.
Okay.
You are tethered, so you are harnessed in. So everyone is going to make their way down to the mudroom, and people are, yes, in their swimsuits, wearing the robes, slippers. You'll be harnessed in, and the expedition team are standing. You know, if you panic, because it is obviously very cold water, they are going to pull you in as fast as you can. For me, it was like being on a trampoline. By the time I jumped into the water and registered what my body had actually done, I was already like, let me out of here. So it's a very quick, you're in and out before you know. You get a great certificate that said you did the polar plunge. Now, here's what really made me laugh. We do have a medic that's clearly standing by for anyone that gets sort of loses their breath maybe or starts to panic. You're not going to be in long enough to get hypothermia because we're going to drag you out. But what I did get a kick out of, because to warm everyone from the inside out, they were handing out vodka shots. So that was my fun thing about it. There was an entire table full of vodka shots ready for everyone. And then a lot of people headed up to the hot tubs and warmed up that way too. So I encourage you to do it. I think we had 168 people on board, and 97 of them did the polar plunge.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, how amazing.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
You would?
Absolutely.
Did the husband do it?
My husband did not do it. In fact, the lady that I actually jumped with, or, you know, we went after each other, same thing. Husband wouldn't do it either. So we were like, see ya. We're going for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it was a great experience.
This is an obvious question, but obviously it's very, very cold. How was it? Do you remember like the shock to your body?
You know what? It wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I was watching a lot of people coming back, and they all looked like they were, you know, they were exhilarated, probably from the vodka shot, but they were very, very happy, and they were glad that they had done it. And I saw a lot of people younger than me doing it, and I saw a lot of people older than me doing it. So I said, hey, I'm a good swimmer. I know I'm harnessed in. If there was something that happened and I panicked, the crew would have me back in no time.
True.
Yeah.
I want to throw this comment up because we're just going to use our imagination, I imagine.
Safer for women. So I believe that one of the things we talk about, we are an expedition cruise line, but we have an intimate yacht style experience. You will find that people are, you meet people on the Zodiacs, you meet someone in the lounge, and they want to share and they want to talk stories with you. And I found that we did have a lot of single travelers on the sailings that I was on. And a lot of people, because they'd been on that Zodiac with the person, said, join us for dinner, or come sit with us when we're up in the Dome Lounge where the piano player is tonight. Have a drink with us if you like. I think we say we're intimate yachts, but I think we're intimate too in the way that the crew and the passengers really get to know each other. I mean, people, when we had Wi-Fi, were swapping pictures and downloading pictures because someone had got a good shot on the Zodiac, but someone couldn't quite see. So I think you'll find, I think you'll find yourself very comfortable.
Yes, and I think that she was and I want you to use your imagination because it's a family-friendly show. That when men would jump in the water, it's a little different in water.
You know what? It's one at a time, and so when you come back up the steps, and you're the crew are waiting to put the robe back around you and a towel too. So it's so fast, and you're so like overwhelmed and exhilarated with what you do. You get that towel, and you get the robe, and you get the everything shot, and you carry on.
Everything falls back into place.
Literally.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's talk about pricing. Again, the elephant in the room. But when I'm going to throw these prices up, I want everyone to realize that this is a seasonal trip, number one. So it's not all year. Number two, it is a all-inclusive opportunity to see one of the most remote places on Earth. So let's talk about these prices, shall we? Ocean view. So an ocean view room is exactly what you're thinking about. It's a window room, and it's running close to $75.50 per person. Now, we could go on and on and on about the pricing, and people might have sticker shock and so on and so forth. But talk to us and tell us the value. First of all, these prices are unbelievably good compared to what others are offering, and others meaning even Atlas with the sale with set discounts and all the fun that Nikki and her team has put in. But when you look at a rate like this, yes, at glance, you're like, whoa, but factor in everything that is involved.
Absolutely. And one good point that you mentioned there is Atlas Ocean Voyages right now. If you've never had an experience of a small ship cruise line, we're probably one of the best priced out there at the moment. And the reason being is we're fairly new to the North American market. We started sailing in 2021. And so I tell a lot of people, if you want to have a really fabulous experience, then keep in mind that what you're paying for what you're actually receiving. Getting to Antarctica, the only way really that you see Antarctica is via an expedition vessel. It is a 3.5-hour flight down to Ushuaia, and we sail for 9 days, and we're sailing all inclusive. You've got amazing accommodation. We've got some of that. The infinite veranda is that what we call Horizon?
Yes.
Seth? Okay,
Yeah.
So our Horizon staterooms are extremely popular on the Antarctic sailings, and what they are is that they're one of those staterooms where it's a full picture window and the top half drops completely down. So
yeah, that's what I have. That's what I booked.
You still are able to feel that fresh air. You're still able to hear the whales. You get that wonderful feeling of being out on the ocean. But if we're crossing the Drake Passage and it's rough, you're not going to be out in your veranda. You're going to find that the crew is going to absolutely say, no way, you should be out there. So I think the veranda, as we call it, Horizon stateroom, is a great price. As Seth said, we're sailing all inclusive. You're getting some once in a lifetime unique experiences. Is it a seventh continent for anybody? Has anyone done all six, and this is the last one for them?
For me, yes.
It
for
is.
Me,
Okay.
yes.
So it's the last continent.
And I believe that there are others here in the group as well, but this is the last continent for me.
So Seth, you need to remember to take some sort of banner or flag that says last continent and take a picture.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Absolutely.
So you need to,
I love that. Yeah, no, I love that. I think that that's fantastic. Yeah. I want to throw up a couple of comments here, and this is from Rob. And Rob, I would say this to Rob on the phone, and I'm not meaning. I mean, Rob is a shopper. He loves to know what he's paying for. He does his research, and that's what I love so much about Rob. And Rob, when I was talking to Rob about another trip, we brought up Antarctica. And I told him about it, and then he called me back a couple hours later, and he's like, I just researched this, and you can't touch this price anywhere. So, when he says comparable cruisers can easily cost twice as much, it is 100% the truth.
And one of the reasons, like I said, Rob, why you see such good pricing from us right now is we're new to the North American market. We're building brand awareness. So one of the core offers that we've had is really driving a lot of business our way, and Seth's pricing reflects that. I mean, if I'm honest, have we altered the prices, increased them over last season? Yes, but it's still an amazing value because we want people to come and experience Atlas Ocean Voyages, but don't expect these prices to stay this way.
Right.
At some point, we're going to crank them back up to really where they should be.
Right.
So jump on it. Jump on it.
That's the thing. And that's what I want everyone's like, no, we'll wait until 25. We'll wait until 26. We'll do this. These prices will easily double. And I'm not trying to be some slimy salesman, because if anyone knows me, they know I'm not that kind of person. And I don't want anyone to overpay if they don't. And in fact, I had another Antarctic trip and it wasn't working when it comes to pricing and things. And when I had this opportunity to jump over to Atlas, I'm like, you're listening to me. You want to help not only me, but others, and in getting the incredible value of what you're getting. I mean, you are literally doing apples to apples on some of the 5-6 star cruise lines that are out there. And I'm not going to mention anyone because I don't want to get in trouble. But when you mention these cruise lines and they're easily 20,000 a person, and you're doing all of this for less than that for both of you, I mean, it's truly awesome. By the way, I want to let you know, and a big thank you to all of our military. And this is what I love about Atlas as well, that they offer a generous military discount, whether you are in the National Guard, whether you are in the whatever type of military ID, we will honor that for you. And that means
Seth, if you're a retiree too.
And right, exactly.
Yep.
And a retiree. I love that, Nikki. I do. And so you get these prices that we just showed you. On top of that, you're getting 20% off.
Amazing deal.
Like that's
a huge saving.
I mean, huge saving.
Huge saving.
And here's another thing too. If you are 2 people in a room and you have friends that are going, for example, but they don't have military, then go ahead and take put her in a friend's room, and then the friend's room, and then both of you, if you're both in military, can offer that discount. And then when you're on board, just swap. Exactly. So there are so many ways around that, but also so many ways that it's so inclusional, which I absolutely love. Andrea is retired, and I love this, but she says the substitute teacher in the Detroit area should count as military. If we could, we would.
I wish, Andrea. I know that you sometimes get back to school teacher discounts. Yeah, I'll make a note of that for the future.
Right. There you go. Absolutely. And Wayne, also a retired military, says everyone gives 10%. So thank you for doing the 20%. That is really an incredible deal. So once again, going over the itinerary here, you leave North America January 3rd, arrive into Buenos Aires January 4th. We have our private charter flight, which is included January 5th, the cruise the 5th to the 14th, and then we do fly home on the 14th, or you can stay longer if you'd like. We did have a question that came through, Nikki, that said, if you want to come in a little earlier, can you do that?
Absolutely. And I didn't have enough time myself in Buenos Aires, but I would encourage you, if you do have the time to, whether it's somewhere else in South America, yes, please. No problem.
And the best part, I think, about our departure on January 3rd is the fact that, say you want to bump it up and you want to do New Year's in Rio, or you want to do whatever you want in South America, you could easily do that. But also, January 3rd, it's the holidays are over. So it's kind of that doldrum, like, you're taking down the tree or you're doing the things. And then you have, New Year's, and that's over. January, February seem to be one of those months that there's just really not a lot going on. But if you have this going on for the beginning of January, it's kind of like Thanksgiving, and then you blink, and then it's Christmas. And you're like, still have the adrenaline going of then New Year's, then an amazing adventure to Antarctica. That's Absolutely. What I love about that.
Yeah. Iguazu Falls. I mean, there's so many options that you can do prior to being in Buenos Aires on the 4th of January, ready to start this wonderful expedition.
Right. I will tell everyone that Flights are not included in the price that you saw. So really the only thing that you have to pay for are the flights to get down to South America, which we do have some things that we're working on for that. So the flight is what you'll have to pay for, and then the cruise. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much all inclusive, which I absolutely love.
That could be your Christmas present to yourselves for 2024. There you go.
I love that. An early one. I think that that's perfect. So many people are heading on in. Like Andrea saying flights were cheaper on New Year's Eve. That's really good. Marianne is saying flights are cheaper on New Year's Day. They're also going. They are very excited they're going to the yarn district. And did you know that they have a massive yarn district in Buenos Aires?
I did not know that.
I know what those two are going to be doing on the Drake Lake days. Do you know the hotel in Buenos Aires by chance?
You know, we've got 3 hotels for next year. I believe a lot of people will probably be in the Hilton Buenos Aires is where we've got the most of our block. We're also using the Sheraton, and I believe we're using the Alvear Palace as well.
Okay, perfect. Then
So
that sounds
we
good.
will already know what hotel has been assigned to your sailing set, so I can find that out for you.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And then the $200 onboard credit, which I
Yes.
can't thank you enough, Nikki. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. Before we leave, Nikki has some fun prizes, and if you are interested, you want to wait to hear what Nikki is offering, okay? Because you might not want it. But if you are interested, then go ahead and put in the tagline Antarctica under comment. So go in, put Antarctica in, and you will be entered into our virtual machine here, which will pick your names. So, Nikki, go ahead and let's talk about what you are giving away. We've got
I think, did we say like 4 or 5 of these?
4 or
sets?
5. Let's do 5.
Yeah.
Let's do 5.
So I have a little Atlas Ocean Voyages tote bag. It's one of those ones that folds up really, really nicely. However, now what I've put in here is I've got some Atlas Ocean Voyages branded PJs. I don't want to pull them out of the bag, but believe me, they're 2 pieces. They are branded. There are some nice slippers to go with it too. And of course, I'm throwing in a few pens as well. So I have to say these are actually very comfortable to wear. Very comfortable to wear. So that's my little giveaways. Take it or leave it. Let me know if you're interested. Happy to send them.
All right. I love that. So if you do decide that you want to enter, please go ahead and type in Antarctica into the keyword or into the comment, and that keyword will then trigger the automated system that I have to kind of find a winner. So it won't find your name if you don't put in Antarctica. So you want to make sure to just put in Antarctica. Okay, Antarctica. You don't want to put Antarctic. You don't want to put Arctic. You don't want to put Atlas. You don't want to say, I love you, Nikki. Please send me all the pajamas. It's not going to work. So you need to make sure that you put in Antarctica, and we will go ahead and pick a winner. Again, we've got 5 of these to give away. Our sizes are medium, large, and extra large.
And I will say that even the mediums are quite generous, ladies. So just keep that. Oh, and all gentlemen, but yes, they're quite unisex size.
Okay, perfect. So I will contact you via Facebook and get your mailing address, find out what size you want, and then get that over to Nikki. And we should be all set and ready to go. While more and more people are entering here, again, just go ahead and put Antarctica here. Nikki, just give us a couple of pieces of takeaway if someone is just joining us on why they should be on our Sail with Seth to Antarctica on board Atlas Ocean Voyages.
Number 1, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you're not going to regret. Number 2, it is a fabulous price right now for everything that's included. You're going to have a wonderful expedition team on board, a fabulous crew. Food is amazing, and any kind of drink of your desire, whether that's a soft drink or alcohol, also included. And my personal tip is make sure you do go and get a massage in the spa. It is well worth it. And do the polar plunge. It's a must. It's a must do. When are you next going to be back in Antarctica?
Right. That is true. That is true. I love it all. I can't wait for the polar plunge for sure. All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead and let me just open up this piece here and we will be all ready to go. Okay. So we've got number one. Here it goes. Little circle, little circle, little circle. First one is Carol Tyndall. Oh, Carol. Carol's the one who won't do the polar plunge. So should we use this as a kind of if you don't do the
leverage
polar plunge, you might not get your PJ? I mean, what do we do? Let's think about it.
What I think, Carol, is when you do the polar plunge, you should put your PJs on afterwards and take a picture for us just to prove that you did it.
All right. I love it. That's perfect. Okay. Awesome. Congratulations. All right. Winner number two. We got it. Number 2 is Bonnie. Oh, Bonnie. Oh, that's so great. Congratulations. We've got Bonnie Hilton. Bonnie was just with me in Alaska. Maybe Bonnie can come to Antarctica.
Yes.
There you go.
There
Bonnie,
you go.
congrats. All right, here we go. Number three. I love this. This is so great because it continues to spin and I continue to love it. I need to actually find a way that I can share it and do the whole little thing.
Oh, there you go.
That's always good. Lucy. We've got Lucy. Let me see here. Lucy doesn't ring a bell, but I love it. Let me pull up the thing here. We've got Lucy Donnell. Congratulations, Lucy. All right, we've got number 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got Jackie. Jackie, it's a sign. Jackie Girardi. Jackie wins.
The ladies are getting lucky today.
They are. Exactly. And now we've got number 4. And we have Paula. Oh, Paula O'Neill. Wait, did any guys?
No. It's all the ladies.
Oh my God. That's so great. Paula, congratulations. Paula O'Neill, congratulations. I love it. I think that's so great. Oh, look at everyone. Paula saying, yay.
Yay.
Bonnie, yippee.
And don't forget to tell me what size you'd like.
Yes, I will absolutely do. Wayne says no men. Hey, Wayne, I might know someone to maybe get you a pair. I might know someone. Marianne, I love this, saying that the real winners are for those of us who signed for the trip. And it is so true. It really is an amazing experience. I will contact all of you that you won, and I will get your sizes. I will get your mailing address, and I will then send it over to Nikki, and she's going to get that out here shortly. I had so much fun. Can you believe that this is now 1 hour and 10 minutes that we've been doing this?
Nope.
It's
And
been.
we could carry on for another hour.
I know. I don't even know when to stop. It's like I just want to keep talking about Antarctica because I am so excited about this trip. I mean, like I said, I've been to many places around the world. It's been great. What I will say is I feel that Atlas does an amazing job. Everyone that I have spoke with says that it's really a class act. And I want to thank you and the team for everything that you have rolled out for us.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you for having me on today. It's been a lot of fun.
It really has been. And friends, if you have any questions whatsoever about this trip, please go ahead and send me an email, sailwithseth@gmail.com. If you are interested, please go ahead and send me an email. Like we said, there is nothing like it. The price is, you will never see these prices again. And it's not just me. Nikki, can you say that? Because it's not just me.
Every day we're constantly looking, saying, can we add a little bit of money here? Can we raise the price here? Can we still make it attractive to get people to join us? So when I say the prices won't last forever, I'm very serious when I say that.
And there is no Sail with Seth from 2025 doing Antarctica. So I just want to let everyone know it's this time that we have to do it. Might be later, a few years down the road, but not for the immediate future. So if you want to do Antarctica, experience it with me, experience the perks and all the fun that Sail with Seth has to offer, and receive a $200 per person onboard credit, this is the time that you want to make sure to be a part of it.
And the other thing I would say is slightly sad, but go now, because this is another area that's being affected by global warming. So jump on it and see it while it still is as amazing as it is, because it, like I say, it's unfortunately being affected so like so many other areas of the world.
It wouldn't shock me if, and I have no scientific proof behind this, but it wouldn't shock me if the Antarctic Treaty, which is a combination of a lot of governments, including the United States, call it off one time and say, look, we're going to postpone. We're not going to have anything go down there for a few years. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen, because I don't want it to, you know, have the ripple effect throughout the industry. But it's something that we really have to understand. And this is the time. If you want to do it, you need to do it now. And that's why I keep saying, please, friends, go ahead and sign up. And don't forget the military discount, an extra 20% off. Military ID is required, but as you said, retired, active, whatever it is, please go ahead and send me your information, because guests that might not have thought that they qualified. So again, extra 20% off for that military discount. Nikki, you're the best.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for everything. I can't wait to see you back here again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here.
All right. That sounds like a plan. Hey, thank you again, Nikki from Atlas Ocean Voyages. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Seth. See ya.
All right. You bet. Again, they are fantastic, and I'm so happy to work with them. Other than that, if you have any other questions, please feel free to go ahead and give me a call or send me a message on Facebook. By the way, I know that you saw the post yesterday that Sail with Seth is 1 year old. Thank you. And I know I said it in the video, and I'm just going to say it again and again and again and again. My heart is happy. There's nothing more that I really could say. A year ago, I was not in a very good place mentally. I wasn't, and I'm honest with all of you. I wasn't. I was in a bad spot, and never in a million years did I think that this would be where I am today, and where I am loving my life, and I am loving that you are all a part of it, and truly a part of something that I love and that will continue to build. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really does. I don't want to get all emotional, but it's something that I can really sit back here. Last night, it was one of those things. I was reading all of your comments, and I was sitting on the couch with my laptop, and I was just like, wow. And my mom happens to call, and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. It was great. So thank you for all the comments. All right, so we've been together for an hour and 13 minutes. Thanks again for making me a part of your Tuesday. Loved playing Travel Trivia Tuesday with you, and I loved talking all about Antarctica. Please, friends, think about it. If there's one trip out of the entire portfolio, this is the trip. You heard Nikki talk about it. It's for everyone. Don't let something in your mind put you and stop you from doing this. All right. Take care, my friends. I'll see you next time right here live. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. All right. Bye for now.